Eva Joly, ráðgjafi sérstaks saksóknara, segir að þeir sem hafa brotið af sér ætti að stíga fram og aðstoða við rannsóknina í stað þess að láta elta sig árum saman og engjast yfir því. Hún segir að þeir muni nást á endanum hvort sem er. Eva Joly segir að fyrstu ákærurnar verði birtar í vor, en gríðamikið starf sé eftir. Við heyrum viðtal við Joly hér eftir augnablik. Við byrjum á Evu Joly sem átti fund með forsætisráðherra í dag og telur sig hafa fengið vilyrði fyrir mikilli eflingu embættisins. En að hennar mati þarf að fjölga starfsmönnum þess upp í 80 næstu 4 árin. Og Þóra Arnórsdóttir ræddi við Joly núna seinnipartinn í dag.
So welcome, Madam Joly.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, tell me, I know you don't read Icelandic, so you haven't been able to go through all the 9 volumes, but the English summary and what people have told you,
yes.
Is the outcome what you expected, or is it even worse?
No, I think this is a really incredible report. I think it is very broad, very deep, and there is no afraid in it. It is very courageous. It is courageous for a country to tell that ministers failed, that the governor of the central bank failed, that the controller of the FME failed, and also, for sure, the bankers. I think this is very courageous, and we have not seen that elsewhere in the world. So this is very important, and I think it is a very good basis for the Icelandic people to understand what happened. Now it is all there. They can discuss it, they can see it, they can understand it. And from the investigative point of view, it is also very important because it gives us the whole picture. So now we are able to draw up the rest of the investigation, the time frame, the people needed, the money needed. And this is also very important, I think. So I'm very happy about this report and impressed by the quality of what it's telling.
I know you had a meeting with the Prime Minister today. You haven't met with her before, have you?
No, this was the first time I met with her.
And
yes.
What happened in the meeting?
Well, she told me how important it was for the Icelandic government that the inquiry was moving forward. And she assured me that the Icelandic government would do all they could in order to give means. And I was terribly concrete about that. We need an average of 80 people for the next 4 years. And we think, the special prosecutor, the special state prosecutor and I, that we must have a very strong team that can be able to conduct this inquiry in a relatively short time so that the problem can be settled. And if we are only few people, it will take 10 years. And this is not supportable. So we need to strengthen up the number of people within the investigative team to be able to conduct this investigation.
How many people have you now?
29.
You're 29, and you say you need 80 people,
yes,
on average for the next 4 years. So this is not something that's going to be over.
It will go down again. I mean, it will be in the investigative period, the next 2 years, we will need about 80 persons, and then it will drop again.
Now, what you can see from the reports is, to put it bluntly, that the banks were basically robbed from the inside, more or less, of the owners. When are we going to see the first arrests?
Well, the first cases,
the first cases
that could lead to imprisonment. That is always a possibility. They will be conducted this spring. So you will have very soon, you will see some result of what the Special Prosecutor's Office have been doing this year. And I wanted to say something important. It is that in the world today, as to economic crime, there is very few places to hide. And it's not because you have left Iceland that the international cooperation will not work, and especially now because you are signing up on a very important international convention, the EU Anti-Corruption Convention, and within this convention there is a very broad definition of economic crime. Actually, they do define corruption as economic crime, meaning that this is also a general extradition convention. So this is important, and we will be able to follow the traces of the money.
That's the big question that people say. Now, when we see the amount of money that was sucked out, it's almost impossible to have spent that money in those few years, so they have to be somewhere. But in this year and a half that has passed, we haven't seen much freezing of
no, but you
money.
know, we didn't start up with a team like they have in New York, where people have 20 years of experience and they are ready to start. We were starting from scratch with an empty office, and it is only 1.5 years, and there are already cases having been built up. We have started cooperating with Serious Fraud Office. There are actually more than 10 persons in London today working with us on our cases, and we have people in Luxembourg working with us on our cases. So I know that I'm always saying the same thing, but economic crime investigation takes time, and I think that with this report it will accelerate, and in a way now everything is open, and this is now a question of time when people will be called in to answer for their wrongdoings.
What about the group of people that cannot really be prosecuted because it doesn't look like they've broken any laws, but all moral issues? We might say, moral crimes. How do you go about in France, for example, with that group of people?
Well, when you're doing criminal investigation, it's very easy. Only offences or crimes are investigated. We do not have such a thing as a moral police. So this is a quite clear limit. You have to be able to characterize an offence. But offences, you know, sometimes abstentions, not doing what you should do, can be a form of helping and abetting. So who are breaking the rules, that is for the investigation to establish.
Now, after a year and a half, I know you've sometimes been a bit frustrated and felt that you didn't get enough support from the government and from the system. The report is probably, more of a push on the back and a clap on the back for you, isn't it?
Yes, I think now it's evident for everybody how important this investigation is, how tremendous it is, and we cannot carry it out with the staff we have today. So we need more people, and that means more money. And we also need means to pay experts to help us. But I do know that we have the support of the Minister of Justice and of the Prime Minister for this investigation. Have you managed to,
I know there can be a language barrier there, but the first response over the last few days of the main players hasn't really been of, people haven't been jumping forward saying, yes, it's true, it's all my responsibility, or it's partly my responsibility. People are very defensive still.
Yes.
Does that change anything for you, or does it just tell us, about the atmosphere still?
Well, I think that this is how economic criminals very often behave. They are used to discuss until the very, very end. And they will probably discuss it even after they have been convicted. In the first instant, they will appeal. This is how it is the most of the time. But you know, reading the English resume of this report, I had kind of a dream. I said to myself, it cannot be easy to be the persons that they are talking about having done all this, meaning that they will have to wait 4 years for the investigation to be completed, and then go to court, and then to be convicted probably to a very severe sentence. Why don't they show up by themselves? Why don't they say, I want to become a member of the Icelandic society again. I don't want to be outlaw, and here is what I done. Here is where I kept the money. And then, you know, judges are also more lenient. So they would earn time for the inquiry, and then they would earn time for sentencing. That would be what would be reasonable for everybody.
But they don't. Do you have an explanation why they don't?
Well, if you read my books, this is how everybody I met until now did behave. But maybe it is not necessarily so, and that some of them could realize the damage they have made to the Icelandic society and want to repair it and come and help the investigation.
And then others might follow suit.
Yes.
Let's see how that goes. Thank you very much for your time, Madam Shelley.
Thank you.